Both divers were trapped inside the cave. Malba had fallen on the way to the exit. Visibility was so low that they couldn't even see their hands properly. And now, only a few minutes of oxygen was left for both of them. In the meantime, one diver went back to find an alternate way, and the other was stopped near Malba. After 5 minutes, when he came back, what he saw was really unbelievable. Welcome to ZemTV's videos again. Viewers, cave diving is different from normal scuba diving. In scuba, normally people go in open water, where if there is a problem, then only one push brings the diver directly to the surface. But in cave diving, there are cave stones on the top and sides, and there is only a narrow path. If oxygen runs out, equipment fails, or you don't remember the direction, then the game is over. Cave diving is the only sport in which an extraordinary high casualty rate is found. In swimming, 1.77 deaths have been seen in every 100,000 participants. Similarly, if we talk about 43 in base jumping and cave divers, then there are 100 casualties in every 100,000 divers. Every year, 25 to 30 divers die in this sport all over the world. And this is a small number because there are very few people who do cave diving. The Sherlock Springs in Florida is like a maze, where some tunnels are dead ends and some lead to direct death. The depth of the cave is 80 to 120 feet. The water temperature is always 22 degrees Celsius, and the visibility is normally crystal clear. The 17th of November 1991, it was early morning, the weather was pleasant, and light sunshine was shining over the water. Some professional cave divers of WKPP, Woodville Cast Plane Project, had set out on a mission. Their goal was to explore the new ways of the cave and prepare a map of them. 2 new divers were also included in those divers, Bill and Parker. Both were friends, and the passion for adventure was riding on their heads. For them, it was not just a dive, but a chance to break their limits and make a new record. But what did he know that this journey was going to be the biggest test of his life? As soon as people hear the name of Sherlock Springs, they imagine a small pond. Because Prof, it looked like Catskill. Its depth is only 9 meters, but the real story is hidden below it, a limestone cave system that is 91 meters deep. Tunnels, chambers, and inner passages make you feel like you are in another world. This cave is part of the Vakula cave system, which is considered to be one of the largest underwater cave networks in the world. The entrance starts with a narrow path called the Scars Restriction Zone. It is so narrow that only one diver can pass at a time. And it is also so narrow that the diver's shoulders and tank collide with the rock as they pass through. But as soon as this zone ends, a magnificent view opens up in front of you, just like a highway tunnel inside the sea. This place is beautiful and dangerous too. That day, the WKPP team divided the divers into 4 groups for their mission. Everyone's responsibilities were different, so that no mistake could be made. The first group was the one who stopped at the entrance of the cave to the surface. Their job was to monitor the entire mission, note the time, and respond immediately at the time of emergency. This team was working like a safety line up there. The second group consisted of those divers who had to keep the decompression tanks in the right places. These cylinders were hung on those places from where the divers could get extra oxygen to breathe while coming back. This was the backbone of this mission because without decompression stops, no diver can come back alive. The third group was responsible for the line and safety checks. They would fix the guidelines properly, provide extra backup, and ensure that the team going ahead got a clean and safe route. And the fourth team was the explorers, i.e., Bill and Parker's team, who were actually supposed to explore the cave. At around 10 in the morning, the whole team went into the water. Bill and Parker checked their scooters and tanks, then prayed a little and went into the depth of the cave. 20 meters below, they met George, who was part of the decompression team. A little further, they reached the SCAR's restriction zone. Adjusting their buoyancy, they kept moving forward with the help of scooters. Soon, they came to a large chamber called Vacula. The view was so spectacular that it was as if a person was floating in the open sky. Within 40 minutes, they reached Grand Fork, and as planned, they descended. The tunnel was narrow, but the scooters were doing the right thing. After 25 minutes of hard work, they reached Lower Wekula Room, from where they found their way up. So far, everything was absolutely normal. He was feeling very free, even inside the Tong Cave. À tel point, seeing that the oxygen level was decreasing, the two decided to return. But what did they know that their freedom was probably up to here? When he came back to the turn of the Grand Canyon, the tunnel suddenly changed. The water was covered with mud. The visibility was so low that the divers could not even see their hands. The Grand Canyon was not at all what it was a few minutes ago. It was a warning bell that Bill and Parker were feeling well. It was difficult to find the way in front of him. He kept moving forward, holding the guideline, because he felt that he just had to walk a little more and he would reach the SCARs. Restriction zone. But in a short while, he found out that the road in front of him was closed. A pile of mud had closed the way to go up, and the guideline was also buried in the same puddle. At this time about to run out, bot paniqued. Bill pointed to Parker and wrote on his slate, "Stop here, I'll check the line and come." He went back to the turn to confirm that he is not on the wrong way. But when he confirmed with the line marker, he found out that this is the exit way. Bill wanted to come and tell Parker, but only after 5 minutes back, he saw that Parker's not there. Bill was now terrified in the dark cave. He looked around with torches, but there was no sign of Parker in the clouds of dirt. Then he felt that a small amount of water was flowing from the pile of soil. He thought that Parker must have entered from there and gone to the other side. But now there was not much time to think, because the oxygen level was about to run out. He himself started digging the soil. Every second felt like death was approaching him. The part of the soil was only 2 meters long, but for Bill, it became a journey of miles. Finally, he managed to make room and get inside. The tunnel was now turning upwards. Bill saw a regulator hanging from the guideline, but he ignored it because his own oxygen was running out. He just held his breath and kept moving forward. Finally, he reached the decompression station at a depth of 30 meters and took oxygen from the bottle and took a deep breath. He thought that everything would be fine now. But then he saw Parker's oxygen bottle, which was completely untouched. That means Parker didn't come here. If Parker wasn't near the pile of mud and didn't come up either, where did he go? Bill's heart was broken now. He started feeling that his friend may not be alive anymore. At that time, George, a member of the decompression team, came down. Bill wrote on the slate and told him that Parker may have died, on which George tried to bring Bill up. But Bill was so shocked that he did not want to go back up without Parker. George went back up and called other divers, and then they forcibly took Bill up. Parker's absence put everyone in shock outside the cave. The divers went back to the cave to see, but there was no sign of him at the spot where he had disappeared. They only found his regulator and cylinder, which were lying separately. The next morning, Parker's body was found in the upper part of the cave, which revealed that he had left his gear and was only wearing a wetsuit. But why did he take off his gear? Maybe he thought that buoyancy would take him up, but he fainted a few meters away from the decompression tank and died there. Many years after this incident, scientists investigated and the real reason was revealed. It was found that when divers were decompressing at a depth of 20 meters while going inside, there bubbles kept accumulating under the roof of the cave. These bubbles gradually reduced the buoyancy effect on the roof, which weakened the roof. When George came out, part of the roof fell off from behind. As a result, a landslide occurred and the road was blocked. In the investigation, it was also revealed that when Parker was blocked behind Malba on the way back, he understood that this was the way. That's when he started digging it with his hands without wasting time, so that when Bill comes back, the way would have already been made. But maybe during this time, his oxygen was low and he didn't even get a chance to tell Bill that I have made a way for you. If Parker hadn't made his way that day and sacrificed his life, maybe Bill would have died behind that malway today. I hope you will like and share this video of ZemTV. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. See you in the next video.